Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, and today we have a bit of an unorthodox fantasy football video. Why is that? That's because the trade target season is over. There's no more trade deadline, or likely in your league, the trade deadline is completely over. The longest I've ever seen it was last week in week 11, and now we are in week 12. So now we're just going to start talking about some random stuff related to fantasy football. So if you guys want or have a suggestion for what we should do next time or the time after that, let us know down below, and we'll probably end up doing it. This episode, we are bringing you guys the league punishments that you need to instate into your league next year. Now, you're going to get this brewing right now. This is the perfect time to get it going because now people realize how funny it would be if Jeff in your league, the guy who's in last place, had to do one of these things that we're going to be talking about. And they're going to want this instated next year, and you got to do it now. You got to sweep in now before it's a little too late and people start being cowardly. So get it done now. Plus, this video is an evergreen video. You guys can watch this right now during week 12 of the NFL season, or you can watch this 3 weeks before your fantasy football draft, and you will get the exact same enjoyment. So I hope that you guys do end up enjoying this. I understand that this is really not any analysis about fantasy football at all, but this is going to be much more fun than talking about fantasy football. The best fantasy football league punishments by Tyler and I. So Tyler, do you have anything to say before we get into these league punishments?
Yeah, so no, I'm not trying to roast you guys or anything, but we really didn't get very many suggestions. However, one man came in clutch on Twitter, Ryan Gordon 12, but he's absolutely electric. He asked me, "Hey Tyler, what do you think the loser of our league should be doing after the fantasy season?" And listen, I came up with this gold idea. I have one that's an always back pocket go to. Nick thinks it's something else. It's not. He needs to stop lying to me. He needs to stop pretending that he has this like perfect clue in his mind about a dream situation about what happens at a local breakfast eatery. Um, but anyways, yes, we came up with this idea. Thank you, Ryan Gordon. You're an absolute legend. The rest of you all are squids, unless you come up with a suggestion for next week's video, because we'd really love that. I say we go ahead and kick it off with my choice
Wow, this
on my
motherfucker.
punishment. You're not taking credit for this. I had it on my
No,
list.
I wasn't even gonna say it, but you go first. You go first.
Yeah, okay, cool. Good. Yeah, that's right. All right, so this comes in two different directions. This is either a brutal challenge or it's a brutal challenge but a little bit lighter. It's like a green and a orange version. If you've been to Mission Space in Orlando, Florida at Epcot. Yeah, we're talking bougie language over here.
We're
I live
talking Disney, folks.
Absolutely. We're talking Disney. So this challenge for your loser is 24 hours in a Waffle House. However, there is a way they can earn their way out via 30-minute decreases or an hour decrease per waffle consumed. That person would have to spend 24 hours in there. Every single waffle they eat, knock down 30 minutes, knock down an hour. Whatever you want to choose for your league. If you hate the fucking person, go 30 minutes because that's hilarious. 24 waffles, I don't think is all that hard to eat. I've never done it, but like it seems like you could hammer them, especially if they're fresh, because like, ooh, those hit different. But yes, you drop an hour off of that 24 hours. But just imagine 24 hours in a Waffle House. Just no one wants to be there. The only time you're there is drunk at 2:30 in the morning. Who wants to be there all day? I know they don't want your ass there all day. 24 hours in a Waffle House. That's my number one.
That is definitely one of the best ones, to be honest with you. That shit is so funny. Just imagine how stupid you would feel sitting there eating waffles repeatedly. And you're not even going to like the waffles. I'm going to tell you that. Like 3 waffles in, you're going to want to be hanging from the ceiling. So you're going to feel much better about yourself having you not lost. So I love that one. My number one here is getting your pubes waxed, aka Brazilian wax. Now, this is hilarious for many reasons. Number one, because it hurts. Now, honestly, you have to get your league mates in here. Now, obviously, this isn't going to work with Corona, but you need to get this done. Maybe the winner does it to you. That would be even funnier, to be honest with you. But if you go to this place, you're going to have to wait for Corona to end to where you can maybe convince them, slip them a nice 20, not to get a tug, but to actually go in there and
No, they get the tug too.
get the tug as well after you get the your pubes waxed. But you're going in there and that's just the most brutal feeling thing, I would assume. Now, I've never had mine waxed. Tyler has yet to come to New Jersey to do it for me, so I don't know. But with that said, getting your pubes waxed seems like an absolutely brutal punishment, and it's pretty embarrassing as well, just looking like not looking too good down there after it happens. So what do you think about this?
Well, yeah, chances are if you're a loser, you probably aren't getting very much action anyway. So I doubt anyone's really checking it out. But maybe maybe you got a guy with a wife who is disappointing, just like he's disappointing his fantasy team and his league mates, obviously. And maybe she gets to check it out. It's honestly a punishment for everyone. Same with one that we'll have later on the list. That's Nick's kind of idea. Nick's got a buddy who does this. It could be a real bonding experience for everyone in the league. Everyone shows up, everyone grabs a seat, really bring an embarrassing kind of trait to this. I have one on my list, if you don't mind me segueing almost immediately. Um,
Segway.
Here's a segue for you. Another one that you can be in full participation for. It's the NFL Combine Challenge. All right, so this challenge specifically uh, is fun because you get to give as many trial runs as possible on the 40-yard, the 3-cone, all that shit. They think they're having fun. Yeah, they're going to have a lot of fun when every single person in your league shows up to the medical exam and they have to get a physical in front of everyone in the league. That's the embarrassing part. Everyone's sitting in the room. They can't say no. The doctor has to allow that shit. I know, whatever. It's what's happening. You're getting a physical in front of all the boys. You're an absolute loser. You got to take the Wonderlic test, which is brutal, by the way. I've done it before, just for fun. You take the Wonderlic. You try and get them on a really hot ass day, and you make them run the 40 a shit ton of times. Make them do wide receiver drills, quarter, whatever the hell you want them to. Maybe punt and catch. Who cares? They think they're having a fun time until they're sweating their ass off, and then got to walk into a doctor's office, and they're not going to be too happy. And he also has to pay for a physical, so that's brutal in itself as well. So there's my next one.
I love that. The doctor's not going to be very happy as well when he has to feel your sweaty balls. So that doesn't sound like a very fun time, but it actually does sound very funny. I like it. I like all of these ideas as well. If you guys just bring a camera and post this somewhere, if you guys do this with your league, send it to me. I'll literally post it on the internet for a couple thousand people to see. It'll be much funnier, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, and we can clip it. I mean, honestly, if Nick even wants to give me that project, I'll sit here and edit and clip up every single one of you guys' crazy ass shit and we'll put it in a video. Like, that'll be fun as hell.
Exactly.
Yeah, go ahead and dive into your next one.
If you guys have any punishments that we don't mention in this video, we're going to mention a bunch. Make sure to leave them down below and leave a video down below if you have a video of your league mate doing it. So my next one, like Tyler said before, is something that my friend's league does at his college. This is an ass tattoo. Now, this obviously not as bad as if it was on your arm or something, but still very embarrassing when everyone's seeing your bare cheeks out there, getting whatever it is tattooed onto you. Now, you can obviously assign the tattoo at the beginning of the season, say, oh, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, or it can be customized. Say the winner chooses what the loser gets on his ass. Now, this could be anything in reality. It could be someone's name. It could be a picture that you just would not want on your ass. And frankly, it's absolutely hilarious. It is probably one of the funniest things because your friends are going to be sitting there with you watching your ass get tattooed for however long it takes. If you're getting some elaborate Mona Lisa down there on your booty cheeks, it may take a while. And that makes it even funnier because you're sitting there with pain in your ass for 2 hours and you deserved it because you lost in fantasy football. So that's a good one that I like as well. That definitely has a nice spins to it because you can really do it either way. Like I said, you can have one set tattoo that the person has to get when they lose, or it could be customizable, which makes it even better in my opinion. So what are you thinking about the ass tattoo? You feeling that?
Yeah, I think I think that's really solid. I think an even bigger pain in the ass would be a hot dog self-eating challenge.
Jeez.
And you settle down here. So you may be like, okay, how do you have a hot dog race against yourself? Well, you do it 3 straight days in a row. And if you don't beat your best time on the 3rd day, you got to run a mile around something. You'll figure it out. It's absolute hell. It's brutal. Hot dog eating challenge. It's very, very simple. It's my most simple one on the list. Doesn't really get the fans, riled up, but I think it's hilarious. 3 straight days of someone trying to consume as many hot dogs as possible. Maybe you set a minimum that they have to reach, or otherwise there's punishment ensued. Like maybe you throw another challenge on there and they have to endure 2 things. This is really more for the kinky leagues, the more dominant leagues that they like that kind of shit, forcing people to consume hot dogs at an alarming pace for 3 straight days. But yeah, no, it makes the cut for my list.
Yeah, we do this in our 50 Shades of League in my hometown. So my next one, speaking of eating, this is go out to dinner with either a blow-up doll or a cardboard cutout of the winner's choice. Now, this one could go a variety of ways. Maybe the cardboard cutout is like something that the person hates. So say this person thinks that anime is weird. Then they have to go out with some girl that's a cardboard cutout with huge anime titties. I think that's pretty funny. Or just a blow up doll in general. People are going to look at you. And the best part of this is that your league mate has to buy food for the cardboard cutout or the blow up doll sitting next to him. So they're just going to, and they're going to have to try to feed the blow up doll / cardboard cutout and talk to it like it's a real thing. And then the rest of everyone else is sitting in the restaurant, just eating normally, watching as you're embarrassed, sitting there eating dinner for an hour and a half with someone who is not even there, which is even more embarrassing when the waiter looks at you / waitress, obviously, and the people around you. So this is also, a lot of these things don't work right now because of Corona. In certain places, you can't go out to dinner. You can't do a lot of these things. But obviously, in the summer, when money of this is going to be occurring, we would hope that Corona is gone, obviously, to help us out in assisting these punishments to be much better. But I really do love this one. I just think it's so embarrassing just having to sit there trying to feed your fucking cardboard cutout of whatever it is some dinner. So I'm going to go ahead and I love this one. What is your next one here?
Yeah, well, just to top on to that one, honestly, I think you should have to go full blown. I mean, if you get like a booth seat, you have to sit on the same side. You got to order for, you know how it is. I mean, you
You got
got
to
to
kiss it.
the whole nines. I mean, yeah, yeah. Hey, maybe take it for the night after. What you got to do. I mean, a date's a date. Um,
Exactly.
but things escalate. So my next one of choice is a shout out to the boys at BDGE. They don't need the shout out. They're absolutely killing it. But I'm going to go ahead and shout them out anyways, because this was an idea that I'm stunned that I never came up with. And last year, when they were talking about their punishment ideas, this is one that came up. And I think this is one they picked for their E-Town Get Town League. It's the 6, 12, 18, 24 challenge. So things are about to get a little raunchy. So you have 4 numbers and you have 4 assignments. And you have to do all these 4 assignments and apply them to a number. And that's how many times you do. So classics that are thrown in there is miles. People like to throw in a food consumption. So either, I think BDG does donuts. You can do hot dogs, kind of combine a couple of these. Sure. Why not? Another, another one. ah.
I'll say it. Tyler's too much of a bitch. The other one is going to be you have to jerk off a certain amount of times in those numbers. That is another one. What is the other one, Tyler?
I forgot the other one, but anyways, it's very customizable. You get 4
Oh, it's
things.
beers. It's beers.
Beers. That's right. You get absolutely plastered. So 6, 12, 18, 24. You apply all 4 of those tasks to one of those numbers. That's how many times you got to do it. And trust me, it's brutal. If you think you can save yourself and do 24 miles or something like that,
Can't do that.
it's all in a 24-hour period. So you got to do that shit. And you got to, if you pick like hot dogs for 18, like that's 18 in a day. Best of luck to you. It's an absolute hell challenge, but a lot of fun for the people on the outside. I pick 6, 12, 18, 24 challenge.
All right, my next one here is this one I've seen in many places. This is the SAT or the ACT challenge. Now, this one is equally as embarrassing, not because you have to waste 6 hours of your Saturday afternoon or 5 hours having to take the test. It's because you're going to look like a complete and utter fucking dumbass pulling up, and there's going to be all these high schoolers around you. You're this grown-ass man / woman sitting there taking this test, and you have to get a good grade too. This is something that needs to be implemented. You can't just go A. No, you have to get like an 800 or something. I think it's out of 1600 or 1800 now. You got to get some grade that's just slightly below average, because unless you're drafting with or you're playing fantasy football with Einsteins, then you're not going to, no one's going to be able to get like way above average after they haven't been in school for a while. So you got to make sure it's kind of fair that way. But the embarrassment of you having to sit there and taking this test with a bunch of high schoolers is good enough in itself. Now, my league, we kind of want to do this next year, and our thoughts are we are going to pregame outside and have a tailgate and wait for them to come out and celebrate when they finish the test. I'm not sure if we will get arrested or something for sitting outside of a high school, but that's just another worry that we have about this challenge. So SAT or ACT, very embarrassing. Maybe stay home so you don't get fined like your name was Marshawn Lynch. So do you have any more, Tyler?
Yeah, well, just to top on to that, here's the thing with SAT. Maybe for the youngins in the crowd that are like maybe haven't gotten to the SATs yet, something a little fun. You can go AAA in a shit ton of times and finish the one section as quick as you can, but you
still
still
have to wait
until everyone's finished. And the next section, same shit. Everyone's finished. That's when you do it. Wait till the time is up. So even if you want to do that shit, you're gonna be bored shitless. You might as well take the test. I think that's a fantastic one. This next one we kind of both talked about. I've got 2 more here, and we'll talk about this one since we both kind of had talked about it before. It's the loser's lemonade stand. So what I like to do for this is I would get as big of a so kind of lay out the ground rules. You have to sell out an entire pitcher of lemonade before you can go. You will be in costume. Costume of choice obviously is up to the winners of the leagues, the people that aren't absolute losers. And you must sell out of an entire container of lemonade. So what I like to do is get a giant ass container of lemonade because I'm not an absolute spud and I want the person being there for a long time. And the concoction not going to be very good. People aren't really going to be coming back for seconds. Is it going to be lemonade?
Might be piss. You never know.
Well, it's going to be safe enough for kids to consume, but it's not going to be
Jesus
good
Christ.
to buy a second one. So loser lemonade stand in costume. I know, Nick, you had a few ones that you were kind of throwing out there for costumes they could wear.
Oh yeah, the Boy Scout one is definitely the best one. Just dressed a grown ass man or woman dressed in a Girl Scout or Boy Scout costume, just trying to sell some lemonade to people is just the funniest thing ever. Now, and another way to make this even worse is you do it in the winter so no one comes and buys it. That's just a tactical strategy there as well to have them sitting outside in the freezing cold. So I got another one here as well. This one, this person may actually be stuck for at least 3 or 4 hours because you have to play an instrument. But they can't know how to play the instrument, right? If you're some asshole in your league is actually cool and they know how to play a guitar, they're not allowed to do that. They have to do something else. So you have to play an instrument until you get $10 in donation in public. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think you could get any donations unless you're somewhat good at it. So it'd be fucking hilarious just seeing some guy sitting there doing whatever, just begging for donations and no one giving it to them. It'll just make your day listening to that all day long. You don't even have to really watch. You can just sit from afar so you don't have to listen to your friend play a terrible song on whatever instrument it is. So do you have any more, Tyler, here?
Yeah, so my final one is kind of an out there one. It's losers beer pong. They play against either themselves or you get two losers in your league. This is more for if you think someone else deserves it just as much. Basically, you fill up cups with concoctions of your choice, and they're playing by themselves. And every time they sink it, they got to drink it, and it's not going to be a fun treat for them. That's 12 cups, I think, right? And was my math right?
12 Tyler. If you're playing beer pong against yourself, there better be like 50 cups over there.
Yeah, there's going to be a shit ton, and they're shooting it in by themselves. And they're drinking weird shit that you came up with. Obviously, we're not putting a Windex in there. We're keeping them alive because you need a loser for next year, too. But it's a loser's beer pong. It's just another one you can kind of customize and have fun with, unlike some of the other ones where there's kind of like some slight ground rules. This one, have at it. Have a joyous time.
Exactly. Now, my final one here is the one that is my league punishment this year. Since we were not able to do it last year, we're actually having two losers, the loser from last year as well as this year's loser, to do it due to Corona implications. But what our league loser has to do is either enter a 5K and run in a costume of the winner's choice, or what we thought is funnier is to just run around on a random day. Just in the middle of the summer, just some random ass day, they have to run around and do a 5K in the area of choice. Now, this isn't as funny if your league winner actually knows how to run, right? If they were like a track star like ours was, he actually knows how to fucking run. So it's not as funny, but the costume is the key here. The winner has to make it as embarrassing as possible. Personally, if I win this year, the loser will be running in a Borat costume. Have you ever seen the Borat where he's at the beach and it's just like the V?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. No,
that's what he will be running in. And another good one that adds on to this one I saw is just where you have to put on the nicest suit you got and jump straight into the lake and ocean, whatever you got, fully clothed, and then drive home fully clothed in that. I think that is very funny as well. So do you have any other ones that are just going to come off the top of your head, or can we end it here on the punishment episode of This Isn't the Fantasy Day Traders? It has no name right now. The Nick and Tyler Show at night. The NNT at night.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's been an electric time. I actually had a lot of fun with this one. No research had to come in. I just got to talk about all the ones that, all my punishment ideas that I've had just, cooking up in the brain. Please let me know if you want to use one of these. They're not trademarked, so you run with it. Let me know if you have used one of these, and then also comment maybe ones that we may have missed that are electric, because we can get a good laugh out of this as well. People that ask fantasy questions at the bottom of this video, save the energy. I just want to know what punishments you have. That's all I care about.
What do you mean, Tyler? All the questions are going to be fantasy questions that are going to be all comments. And I love it. I respect it.
Grinders.
I respect it. Now, this video, just so you know, if you're watching this in like 2025, we made this in 2020. I just changed, or 2020, I just changed the title so that you would watch it again. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to check out Tyler on Twitter at Tyler Moss NFL. His website is linked down below, as well as, you have anything else you would like me to link?
No, I'm good. We rolling. Just my Twitter.
All right.
That's all I need.
Twitter.com/Tyler Moss NFL. Have a great rest of your guys' day. Notorious FNTSY on Twitter. I hope you guys ended up enjoying this. I know this had nothing to do with fantasy. It does have to do with fantasy football. Nothing to do with week number 12. But who gives a fuck? We're trying to have some fun here. And hopefully you guys did end up enjoying. I love you all. Have a great rest of your guys' day. And I'll see you beautiful bastards tomorrow with another banger of a video as always. Good boy.